How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Bitcoin just fell a good amount. It fell under 55,000. Let's talk about why that is. And this is after some pretty decent news. If you haven't seen my last video, check it out. But there is always a reason for the price falling. And I actually shorted the market. Don't get too mad at me. I'll explain what I did. It was a short-term trade, but it's pretty obvious, I think. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. There's a link underneath the video to Margex where you can trade cryptocurrencies using leverage, just like I was talking about, or what I did today. So be on the lookout later in the video. Again, don't be pissed off. I'm not shorting the market long term. I'm shorting it for a short term, and I already actually did quite well on it, but I'll show you kind of the pattern that's so obvious to me. So definitely check this out. There's also a Caspa airdrop underneath the video where you can start getting free Caspa for just trading. So definitely check that out. Now, the market fell down. We had some decent news. The market opened and then we fell. And I'll explain why that was, why I saw later in the video. But we continue to see ETF selling. It could possibly be that the ETF sold again today. This is 1 day, 2 day, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row. Yesterday, $211 million worth of Bitcoin being sold. Maybe some of that's happening. You can also see short liquidations happening. 110 million in the last 24 hours. A lot of that being in the last hour. About $42 million worth of longs being liquidated. Now, honestly, there's not a ton of news for why this would happen. I mean, maybe Jane Street, maybe Bitcoin ETFs, maybe someone's just dumping a fat bag of Bitcoin. Maybe manipulators are pushing the price down. We had some decent economic data. The unemployment rate was at expectations. Fed looks like it's going to cut 25, maybe 50 basis points now. The shift has changed a little bit, or the split has changed a little bit. It looks more like 25 basis points on the next rate cut, rate decision. So overall, things aren't terrible from a news standpoint. Let's take a look at the broader market. You can see the NASDAQ turning down pretty drastically, down 1%. That could also be part of it. Some people trying to maybe get out of the crypto market, move over to buy some stocks. But it could also be this. Chicago's Fed Goolsbee says jobs and inflation trends justify multiple interest rate cuts, and soon. Could be that people are worried about recession again. Like that just continues to happen. Unemployment rate, you can see, is ticking up. But I also saw a different Fed that said that they were not planning on multiple rate cuts, that they just see 25 basis points. So it's kind of odd. Now, I want to explain why I just shorted the market. Again, short-term position, not long-term. This is something that I say that I don't do typically, but it is something that I did today because what we've seen is when the market's open, we actually see the market dump. And you can see that here. Like this is exactly when the market opened here, 56.8. We had just touched 57. Got rejected, started to rally up, and then people dumped. We've actually, the ETFs have dumped the last 7 days in a row. So I've actually shorted the market. You can see that here. I'm up 31% on this position. It's a small position because typically I don't short. So, I have to get used to this before I make large positions because, long and shorting does carry a little bit of different risks. But as you can see, I'm up 30%. I might take profit here if we fall down to 56,030. And actually, I need to move up or move down my stop loss. So that way, if we do have a little bit of a rally, I still lock in a profit. I'll go for about 8%. I think this is a nice round number. That if we start rallying up, maybe we see a little rejection because we did see some support around this level. And as you can see, we are just making a lot of profit here. So if you want to short the market, you can make money on swings like this, little patterns that you recognize. Yesterday, I did a large long position. Actually, it was just about 10 times the size of this position. Just smashed a 50% gain just like that. So if you want to supplement, or if you want to hedge, or if you want to go long, you can do that with the link down below to Margex. And to be clear, I'm not shorting the market long term, right? I think this market goes up viciously. And we are seeing some liquidations right now too. You can see just by the roundedness of this curve and how aggressive the drops are getting here. But now might be even a decent time to long the market, because this went down to the exact point that we had seen previous support. So I'm not short long term, but you can make swings like this where the market goes down, you catch it and you ride it up. And actually, as you can see, I've just been watching the chart, and if I wasn't filming the video, this would have worked out perfectly, right? We saw actually 3 different points where we saw support right within about $50 of each other. Another support here, another support here. Maybe I'd close the position right about here because we had seen previous resistance around this level. But yeah, long here, close the position here. We were just on 50x, which again is risky, but when you're playing in this like $1,000 range, you can do something like that. Of course, there is risk. I had a stop loss when I opened this position. It was around 56.8 or so. I had a stop loss right above 57,000. So that way, if we tapped on this glass again, if we kept on moving up, if we broke through resistance, it would close my position. But if we just tapped against here and fell down, then I would be fine. So that is one thing that you can do. Again, it's not right for everyone, like especially shorting. It can get a little bit riskier, especially when you're going high leverage. But if you play it right, you can actually make money in times like this. Like I just made a 50% gain, and my downside was less than that because I had the stop loss. And certain patterns just continue to play out with Jane Street seeming to sell every day, with the Bitcoin ETFs selling the last 7 days in a row. Market open has been pretty tough recently. So when you get stuff like that, it doesn't work forever, to be clear. So that's why you want to keep your position sizing appropriate. You don't want to go 100% of your portfolio or anything like that. Like I want you to make money trading. I think that's the best thing for all of us. That is something that doesn't work every single time. When you start getting too greedy, that's when it doesn't work. But you can play these kinds of moves like this, and you can actually sometimes make out like a bandit, or just make out with a pretty good risk to return ratio. The key is not getting too greedy, also not being too impatient, and then making sure that you don't risk money that you're not willing to lose. And this is just part of your overall financial journey too. This is a very small portion of my portfolio, but it does help work on TA. It also helps amplify returns. And you can also get that free airdrop as well that allows you to get your hands on even more tokens for free just by trading. So I think that this worked out pretty darn well. Think long term here, like in your broader portfolio. Things are fine, right? I'm actually quite bullish for the rest of the year. Let me know if you're bullish, though, down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.